Pop sensation Bruno Mars once coined the popular phrase, quote, "Don't believe me, just watch." Well, when it comes to the Cowboys, I'm watching, and oh yeah, I'm believing. Dallas is looking to win their 4th straight game as they hosted the Bengals at Jerry's World today. We're going to pick things up in the second. First and goal for the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott calls his own number. He skates in for the 5-yard touchdown. That capped an 89-yard drive and put the Cowboys up 14-0. Later in the second, Prescott showing his scrambling skills there, and he hits Cole Beasley, and Beasley gets beastie with it. He gets in for the 14-yard touchdown. That put Dallas up 21-0. Prescott threw for 227 yards and that TD. He also has 155 pass attempts without an interception. That's a rookie record. Speaking of rookie records, look at this rookie go right here. Ezekiel Elliott gets the handoff, races 60 yards for the touchdown. Yeah, it looks like he does a fake Lambo leap there. We'll call it a Jerry's World leap. Elliott had 134 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns. He also leads the NFL in rushing. The Cowboys will go on to take this game 28-14. They win their 4th straight. And there are 3 things that we found out today from the Texans-Vikings game. 1, the Texans fall apart on the road. 2, the Vikings are really that good. And 3, J.J. Watt, we miss you. The Texans still seeking their first road win of the season, trying to win in Minnesota today. First drive of the game for the Vikings here. Sam Bradford is going to air it out, and Adam Thielen falls right into him for the 36-yard touchdown. That would cap an 84-yard drive. Bradford threw for 271 yards, 2 touchdowns in this game. Later in the first, Matt Asiata gets the handoff and bulldozes his way in for the 1-yard touchdown. That put the Vikings up 14-0. Yeah, we definitely miss Watt. To the second quarter, Houston down 24-0, trying to get something going for them on offense, and yeah, that's not what they dialed up right there. Brock Osweiler is sacked, and that pretty much sums up the Texans. Osweiler was sacked 4 times. He also threw an interception, and he had an 11.7 QBR on the day. He definitely didn't produce many fantasy points. Now, Houston would drop their 2nd straight road game, 31-13. Minnesota stays undefeated on the season. 1994. That was the last time that Texas A&M started 6-0. Now, 22 years later, they matched that feat with a thrilling double overtime victory against Tennessee last night. It was a good one. And according to Coach Sumlin, this Aggies team is something special.
What this team is about not panicking, about communicating. We had some breakdowns, offensively and defensively. I thought our guys still stayed in there and played. I think that the big takeaway from this is that, we were able to withstand some things, not play great, but make enough plays to win the game.
And they definitely did win. The Aggies now have a bye week before taking on number 1 Alabama in 2 weeks. And coming up next, it was do or die for the Rangers tonight. With their backs against the ropes, they gave their all. I'll have a full recap coming up. Don't want to miss it. As we all know, in the world of college football, head coaches are typically held on a very short leash, especially head coaches that lose 3 straight games. Texas coach Charlie Strong now finds himself in that same situation, but he doesn't seem to be too worried about it.
But we just got to continue to work, and it's not desperate. You want to win. You can't lose 3 games in a row, but we just got to, continue to work hard. The guys, we had a few guys to stand up, in the locker room while ago and had something to say, but it's always good when you know that the players now are feeling it.
And while everyone was watching the presidential debates tonight, meanwhile, the Rangers were in Toronto trying to avoid being swept. To the main event we go. We're going to pick it up in the top of the first. The Rangers would strike blood first as Carlos Beltran would ground out at first, but that scores Carlos Gomez. Heads up play there. Rangers would go up 1-0, but the Blue Jays would strike back. In the bottom of the first, Russell Martin is going deep to left field, and he's going out for the solo shot. That capped off a 3-run inning for the Jays, and Kobe Lewis went just 2 innings before being pulled. To the top of the 6th, Rangers trailing by 1 until Mr. Mitch Moreland changes that with 1 swing. 2 runs would come around on this one, and Moreland would go into second with a stand-up double. Rangers would take the lead 6-5. Mitch Moreland getting it done, but the Blue Jays, unfortunately, would come back to tie it and force extra innings. And eventually, They would win it in the bottom of the 10th on a bad throw. Josh Donaldson got in. So the Rangers, unfortunately, get swept. They go home. But I have to say, this last game, they did put up a fight. They were not going down easily.
Right.
So,
unlike the first two.
Exactly.
Right. All right.